It's time for another Mega Motivation collaboration, and this month is all about Christmas decorating and how we can simplify it to take the stress of that part away from the holidays. Welcome back to the cottage, everyone. Today I am super excited to once again be doing the Mega Motivation collaboration with Dawn from the Minimal Mom and other collaborators. And we're, like I said, talking all about Christmas decor today. And I'm excited myself to watch these videos in the playlist because it's always fun for me to see how other people decorate their spaces, especially people who like to keep things simple, because I feel like there's a lot of information out there about how to decorate extravagantly. There isn't as much about how to decorate simply. And so I'm excited to see what these other collaborators have on their videos. But today, on my side of things, I'm not going to be doing any decorating here at the cottage right yet. I'm not quite ready for that. We're just at the beginning of November now. But I do want to talk about how I've simplified decorating, especially Christmas decor, and how it has kind of taken the stress out of that portion of the holiday for me and my family. So I'm not the type of person who has specific decorations for any real holidays. Like for example, we just finished up Halloween. I have zero Halloween decor. Typically what I like to do is just decorate for the seasons. So I will decorate for spring, a little bit for summer, and then fall, not as much, and then winter once again. And the only season or holiday, I should say, that I really do keep some special items for is Christmas. That's the only holiday that I really put any effort towards decorating specifically for. And I used to have a lot of decorations. We just kind of collected things through the years, and I would just keep them with me. If we got it as a gift, maybe a little ornament here and there, just kind of shoved them in a bin. But every year when it came time to decorate, I was so overwhelmed by all of the stuff that we had to work with. I made the decision about 3 years ago to completely go through everything, and this was kind of at the start of my minimalism journey. I did do a video about this. It was a KonMarie declutter of our Christmas decorations, and so you can see how much stuff I used to have for Christmas. Again, this was one of the very first videos I ever put out on YouTube, and so don't put that against me if you do decide to watch that video, but I do kind of show the process of how I laid everything out KonMarie style in my living room, and then kind of paired through and decided what things were my favorites. And so now for the last few years, that's what I've had on hand, just my absolute favorite pieces that are special to me and I love displaying for Christmas. And through that process of the KonMarie decluttering, I was able to take all of the bins and random boxes of things that I had for Christmas and consolidate everything down to 2 hard-cased suitcases. And I'm gonna show you those in just a minute here, but essentially I wanted that type of configuration because it's just so much easier to see the things that you have inside of a suitcase. And then with the handle, I can easily, carry them out of storage when I'm ready for them and set them up for decorating. And so I was really proud of myself to do that. And then since that time, I haven't really accumulated anything else. I've just been kind of working with the things that I decided to keep and then adding some other touches here and there, which I will talk about also a little bit later. Some cheap ways that you can add style to your home without having to have really much expense and also without having to store these decor items. So I'm going to talk about that in a minute. First, I want to show you these suitcases. These are the suitcases that I was talking about, and you can find these easily at any vintage store, pretty much an antique store in your area. Maybe at a thrift store even, but I did find this one at a thrift store many years ago. This one actually though is my grandparents' suitcase that they used to use when they traveled, so that holds some extra meaning to me. So if you have some of those from your relatives laying around, you could do the same technique. But like I said, I really like that they have the handles and you can just easily cart them around. They're not huge, so they don't allow for it to get stuffed and too heavy to carry around. But essentially, let's open this up for you, I think. There we go. Essentially, we've got, a pocket up here. Some of them have pockets and some of them don't. But you can put items in here. This is something one of my kids made. And here, I'll just show you some of the things I have in here. I've got these crocheted snowflakes. That was kind of a collection that I started years ago, and my mom has kind of been adding to it through the years. We've got a lot of red and green colored things. These are some pillow covers here, and a little garland, and this little picture here. I even have a blanket stored in here, so that's part of my decor. And then these are all of my willow tree nativity pieces. That's something that I really love and cherish, and that's one of the things I definitely was going to keep when I was going through my declutter. I have some special ornaments that I've kind of collected through the years, and some room spray, little room spray there. But that's all that's in that one, really. Just not too much. And in the other suitcase, again, it's got the pocket up above. I don't have anything in there right now, but I've got a holiday towel, got some lights in here, Christmas lights. I store my pine cones. You can see those. I'll just hold it up a little bit. Got my pine cones. I've got some red Christmas balls. I've got a little project that one of my kids did. I tried to keep just like one thing from each kid that they made, because kids bring home a whole lot of Christmas decor. So I just kept just one thing of each of the kids, and I kind of display those around. And then a Christmas tree topper. And yeah, this one's mainly the pine cones, I guess. So using these curated items that I have stored in these suitcases, I was able to decorate the cottage for Christmas last year. It was the very first Christmas that our family spent in this home, and it was a classic red and green Christmas theme, and the kids really enjoyed. It was very festive and cozy looking, and it was just fun to put together. I thought it was just kind of gave some life and coziness to the cottage. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do this year in terms of decorating, but I'll be using these same pieces, maybe putting some things in different spots, I don't know. But really, to me, even if you use the same decor every single year for Christmas and you just put it in the exact same spot year after year, it still does feel fresh and new to you because it hasn't been out and on display for over a year. So it's like 11 months out of the year, it's not on display. And so when you bring it out, it feels fresh again. So I might just end up doing the same thing again this year. I guess we'll have to just wait and see. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by your Christmas decor and you're thinking about paring down, I do have a few tips. The first is to look for your favorite items and be sure to keep those. It really did help me to have everything laid out KonMarie style when I was deciding what to keep, because I could easily see what was something that was more special versus something that was just kind of got into the mix through the years. And I was able to, like, for example, compare two tree toppers and see, which one do I like better if I had it all laid out. So I'd encourage you to do that, really look for those special pieces, because those are the ones that when you are decorating, that you kind of get those memories that pop back into your head, and it just kind of gives you that nostalgia. Those are the ones that I would recommend that you keep, and most everything else is probably just filler anyway. I'd also encourage you to not be too concerned about having enough stuff to fill up your room, because really it's just a few pieces here and there that you might need to kind of change the mood of the space. You don't need every wall decorated and everything just lavishly changed up for the season. Just changing out even the mantle decor, for example, or changing out the pillows on your couch can add a lot of holiday charm to your space without a lot of fuss. Another tip that I have found freeing is to not have to think about having an actual physical item that you store from year to year, but instead thinking about bringing things into the home just for that season and then tossing it afterwards. And so, for example, here are a few tips of things that I've done in the past. An easy one is just stringing popcorn garland and using that on the tree. That's something that kids can get involved in. They enjoy that. And then at the end of the season, you can bring it outside and sprinkle the popcorn around for the birds and the squirrels, who are probably going to be looking for food around that time of year, especially in the cold cold of winter here in Minnesota. I know that the little critters definitely enjoy that. Another thing that I really like to do is to decorate with pictures or little mementos throughout the year. And I like to actually decorate with pictures for any season, and if you've seen any of my previous season decorating videos, you'll know that. I have this little antique window that we turned into a display area for photos, but there are so many different ways that you can display photos. And so we have this where we can clip things out. I've seen people use a garland and then have little clips on the garland where they hang holiday cards, and that is a way to display the cards that you get from relatives and friends throughout the year, and you can have that on display, and then at the end of the season you can just toss them. You don't have to worry about keeping them around. Obviously your own family pictures you might keep around, but another thing that I have done in the past with photos that was really fun is one year I took and I used digital photos and I printed them out in black and white. And then I made little green frames out of popsicle sticks. I painted the popsicle sticks green and made little frames for them. And then I just set them on the tree. And it was just such a fun way to kind of look back. I think I made one photo for each month of the year is what I did. It's kind of like a year of memories just on the tree. And it was really fun to do. The kids loved looking at them and remembering, oh yeah, this is what we did, you know, in the spring, and this is what we did in the summer. And it was a way to kind of get those photos off of the camera and into the decor. I am also a huge fan of chalkboard art. You could probably see my little chalkboard here on my mantle. It's just so easy to change out for the seasons, and you can make it as festive as you want, change the sayings. It's basically free once you've got your chalkboard. I did do a video a few months back about how I did create this little chalkboard art piece and some tips that I have for chalk art if you're interested in that sort of thing, but I just feel like it's kind of a classic way to decorate without really any expense and without any clutter. I'm also a big fan of bringing nature indoors for the change of the seasons. In the summertime, I like to decorate with fresh flowers. And so in the winter and for Christmas, I have a lot of pine cones. I bring in some spruce clippings, even some like willow branches would be nice. Just kind of is something that you can easily collect from outside, bring it inside. It adds that festiveness. It kind of adds that spirit of the season. And then at the end of the season, you can just put it back into nature, and it didn't cost you anything, and it didn't take up any space. And the final tip I have about simple decorating that I personally like to use is to decorate with textiles. In the winter here in Minnesota, it obviously gets a lot colder, and so we bring out the chunkier blankets, the knit blankets, and just that texture adds so much to a space. It just changes up the feel of the space. And then we also have our pillows on our couch. We have just a couple pillows on our couch, but instead of changing out the pillows for the season, we just have little slip covers that we put over the pillows that kind of change up the look of them without needing to have storing all those bulky pillows. We just store the pillowcase. So that's another tip that you can use to kind of simplify your decor. Well, I hope these tips and the tour of my own little holiday decor was interesting to you, maybe gave you a little inspiration on ways that you could decorate your own space or even simplify your decor items if that's something that you're looking to do. Like I said, I'm very excited to see the other videos in this collaboration to see how everyone else is tackling the subject of simplifying holiday decor. Be sure to check out that playlist. I have it linked down below. Thanks so much for watching today, and I hope you'll stop by the cottage again really soon.